It's time to duel as Yugi returns in Yu-Gi-Oh! The Darkside of Dimensions. Hello everyone, it's me, Ben Almaden, and welcome to Entertainment Zone. I'm here today for my review of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Darkside of Dimensions. Now, this was a very, very limited screening. I saw it on Wednesday, the 1st of February, and I think it was also screening yesterday as well here in the UK. Let me just start off by saying that as a kid, I adored Yu-Gi-Oh! It was an amazing show. 90s anime was great. Digimon was my favourite, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was my second favourite, and Pokemon my third favourite. And what an era it was to be growing up in. Fast forward to 2017, over a decade since Yu-Gi-Oh! Ended, and if you'd have told me back then that Yu-Gi-Oh! Would return for one final film on the big screen, set after the end of the series and tying everything up, I would never have believed you. So when this film was announced and the trailer came out, I was like, oh, I have to see this. And let me tell you, there was so much nostalgia watching this. Honestly, I'll start out by saying this is a movie for fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! Young kids may enjoy it who haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, maybe, I don't know. But this is definitely a movie for the fans and not a general wide audience, probably why it's had a limited release. Saying that though, my cinema was packed at the screening, and the majority of people were around my age, in their mid-20s. And it was just awesome, just seeing this world of cool characters, mythology and monsters up on the big screen. The story sees Yugi and his friends preparing to graduate from high school when a mysterious new child, Aigami, arrives on the scene. Now, at the same time, Yugi's rival, Satoshi Kuwabara, has his sights set on the Millennium Puzzle, which he hopes to reassemble in order to summon the Pharaoh, Atem, in order to have one final duel in an attempt to try and finally defeat him. And as this unfolds, all the characters' paths intertwine, secrets from the past are revealed, and I'm not going to say too much from there, but for those of you who are really big fans of the show, there's a lot of big surprises and twists in there, and it was just awesome. It was great seeing the gang back, you know, Yugi, Taya, Tristan, Joey, Bakura's in there, Duke Devlin's in there, and of course Satoshi Kuwabara, Mokuba Kaiba. It was just awesome. The animation looked fantastic. It's mainly 2D drawn animation with some like 3D effects in there, kind of like what Futurama did. And that's mainly on the monsters in the jewels, which give it a lot more depth and realism, and just adds to the great look of the film. And it was awesome having the voice actors back as well, you know. We have Dan Green back as Yugi, who is just as lovable as ever. And, you know, he's a hero in every sense of the word. And the big one, though, was Satoshi Kuwabara. This really is Kaiba's movie, if I'm honest with you. Kaiba probably has the most screen time of anyone. And he has just some of the best lines in the movie. So funny. He has this grandiose pompousness mixed with sarcasm and his steel-faced determination. He is really the best part of the movie, Satoshi Kuwabara, and a lot of that is thanks to Eric Stuart returning as his voice. Honestly, it's great. You know, just hearing all those voices again after all this time, it really took me back. And the same goes for Wayne Grayson as Joey as well, you know. It was just awesome. And the fact that characters like Bakura as well were featured so prominently was great. Now, the only characters who I felt were really missing from the movie that were big parts of the anime were My Valentine and Pegasus. But I can kind of understand why they weren't in there. For the needs of this story, they didn't need to be there, but it would have been cool to have them two pop up at some point. But the storyline is genuinely very, very good. Now, the film clocks in at about 2 hours and 10 minutes. There's times where it feels like a movie, and there's other times where it feels like it's like a mini season with like 6 or 7 episodes stuck together. But the pacing is great. There are times where it does feel like it's flying by, and there's other times where it does feel a little long. But to be honest with you, there's nothing really, looking back on it, that I feel you could cut out, because everything has relevance. Scenes that may seem unimportant at first have payoffs later on. I'm not really going to go into spoilers here as well, but there's a big twist about a character in the movie called Master Shin, and when that twist is revealed, I was like, oh my god, you know, and that's purely because of being a diehard fan of the original anime, and believe me, this really is for the fans. Feels very much like the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, especially Yugi's main story. I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX or anything that came after the Duel Monsters era. And now, to me, this is the ending of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, it sets the characters off onto a new path at the end. Yugi gets closure. Satoshi Kuwabara gets closure. Yeah, it kind of hints at something that they could do if they wanted to make another, but it doesn't feel necessary. It feels very complete. And there was a moment at the end where a certain character returns. I'm not going to mention who it is, where literally I got shivers and my hair stood up on end, because it was like, oh wow. And then as the ending sequence happened, it was kind of like, it just hit me, oh my god, this is the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was very emotional, because this film does play on the nostalgia of the past, but keeps moving the story forward. And I just can't sing its praises enough. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a big part of my childhood, and I honestly believe that anyone who was a fan of the series is just going to be so impressed. It's funny. It adds to the mythology of Yu-Gi-Oh! It has some amazing jewels in there. The voice actors are all back and on top form. And it's a fitting end to a truly great anime. And I gave it 8 out of 10. The only reason I didn't give it 10 out of 10 is because there were only certain moments where the pacing was off. But as I say, there's nothing really you could cut. And because, personally, I would have liked to see My Valentine, at least her there. But on the whole, it was a great film. It was great seeing all these characters back one last time, having the voice actors back. It was every Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan's dream, and I'll be very surprised if there's fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! Out there that didn't like it. If you are a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you've seen the film, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. If you haven't seen the film, as I said, it was on limited release, but I would imagine it will be out on DVD and Blu-ray very soon. And again, if you are a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, this is one you are going to want to see. It really was an amazing job by all involved. So that's it for now. Remember, for all the latest movie news and reviews, you can subscribe to us here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. You can find me there at BLMaden. That's at BLMADEN. And Entertainment Zone's also on Tumblr at entertainmentzone.tumblr.com. And until next time, guys, take care and speak to you soon.